Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Clarice and I'm a second year medical student, and I wanted to talk to you in this video about what it is like to be pregnant whilst you're in med school. This can apply to whilst you're working, whilst you're studying something else. It's just the same, but it's just a bit, you know, my different perspective or my circumstances that I am in med school right now. So to get going, really, what is it like being pregnant whilst in med school? It really is like being pregnant whilst studying, whilst working. It is just the same. So far what my experience has been positive. It hasn't been a lot of challenges, but definitely a few things that I've learned to deal with to make my journey a bit easier. So first thing first, like I said, this was a very conscious decision. I knew I wanted to get pregnant. It was a personal decision and I decided to go for it. So that being said, I didn't just blindly do that. The first thing I had to do before I embarked on this journey was to find out a few things and how being pregnant is going to affect my studies, because obviously studying medicine is something that I've looked forward to doing for a long time ago. So I didn't want to waste it in a way, you know, getting into something that I really don't know how it's going to work out. Obviously you plan and you think that things are going to work out a certain way and they don't. But once they happen, you get on with it and life just continues. So first thing that I was kind of worried about was whether I'm going to still participate in attending lessons or sessions of anatomy. Because when we're doing anatomy, we have to go to the lab and learn from prosections. So these are human body remains, body parts, and we have the privilege to study from real human beings. And these parts are preserved in a certain way to make sure that obviously they last quite a long time, but at the same time to maintain that structure so that it still applies to us learning about human body. Otherwise it would just, you know, like a body perishes and a body deteriorates if it's not preserved very well. So I had to find out whether I can still attend, because actually anatomy is one of my most favorite subjects, and I enjoy that, and I just didn't feel like I would feel good if I was pregnant and I was missing out on those lessons, on those sessions, and I don't think I will actually progress to the following year if I missed out on all of them. So I approached the staff and they advised me that there was literally nothing concerning about being exposed to the the prosections, and that the chemicals that they use have never caused any issues with pregnant mothers and their unborn babies. They've had staff who have worked there whilst pregnant. They've had healthy babies. So that was quite reassuring, because again, I just didn't want to get into something that I knew nothing about. The second thing that I was quite aware of was, when am I actually going to give birth? Now this is a very funny one, because you can plan all you want and sometimes you're lucky, sometimes you're not, but it's good to plan on when you're likely to give birth. It would be great to give birth around maybe, you know, your holidays, so that you have time off. But like I said, things might not work out. Like in my position, it might not work out like that. So I'm aware of what the repercussions might be, so you have to be mentally prepared. But like I said, just plan and see how it goes, and then you will go along with the flow. So it's good to know that, because obviously you don't want to affect your studies in any way if you can prevent it. So planning is important, but like I said, it's not going to go according to plan, as it did not go for me, but it might work out for you. So plan and count your months and know how you're going to manage. Okay, I hope you get that. And then another thing is just trying to work around your lectures, your timetable. Like I have tons of appointments to go to. So I have to figure out how am I going to go to these appointments without missing these lectures. So I have made the decision to make sure that my appointments revolve around my timetable rather than the other way around, because I do not want to be kind of like, I don't want to use this pregnancy to gain favors here and there, or to keep emailing the School of Medicine to see if they can change my timetable, or even have to ask for so many absences, because obviously that can affect my my progression as well. So if I don't attend about 80% of my lectures and sessions, then I'm not going to progress. So that is something that you have to be mindful of. So I try my best to plan my appointments around my timetable so that I do not have to miss out on any lectures or have to email the School of Medicine and just be completely, I don't want to be a burden, if I can say that. Obviously it's not a burden, but I don't want that. I want to be able to do this. I made a decision to go through this, so I want to be able to do this as much as possible without having to cause any inconveniences. Another thing is that I found it very useful to just keep your pregnancy to yourself for a minute. It was a lot, and I was going through a lot, and I'll make another video about all the symptoms and everything that I have been going through and I'm still going through. That is a whole other video. But I kept my pregnancy for a while, a good while, and my friends had no idea. I didn't change my clothes or anything. I bought like one new jacket because the other ones could not zip up anymore, or could not fit me anymore. So that was it, but they never noticed. So it's okay to keep this to yourself. If you feel comfortable to share with people, share with whoever you want to share it with. But I just felt like it was important for me to navigate this and know how I'm going to do this, and just because people will have questions and you don't want to be like, you just don't know what you're doing. And so it was important to just keep it to myself, take my time, and then when I was ready, I shared it with my friends. I'll just put a little bit of a clip when I was sharing with some of my friends at uni. But like I said, again, on that topic of friends, it's important to have really supportive friends when you're going through this. My friends have been really, really kind, and I'm so grateful to have them. One of the things is obviously like when you're feeling down or when you're struggling with something, they can help you out. Another thing that has happened to me personally is that I was feeling unwell at a certain time, and it was late. So I felt dizzy, and so I had to call my friend, and thankfully I felt well enough to drive, but I had to share my location with her so that as I'm driving, she can keep an eye on me, and if anything happens, she knew where to come and pick me up. So it's just that reassurance, just having somebody who knows what you're going through, because if you fall down, at least they can be like, oh my god, that girl is pregnant, so please hurry up and attend to her. So it's just someone who you can know that they're there and they know what you're going through, the situation and everything. So it's important to have friends when you're going through this, because it's a lot. Another good, really good point about being pregnant whilst in med school actually is that you have a whole bunch of doctors that you can ask advice from. So there was a time when I thought my baby I wasn't feeling the movements, and I thought it was probably about time I should start feeling the movements. And I was a bit worried. I wasn't too worried because I felt like, it was still quite early, but at the same time, I felt like maybe I should, especially because it was my second baby. And sometimes when you go on Google, you make things worse. So I was a bit reluctant, and I just approached them after they gave us a lecture it was a urogenital lecture actually. So I approached them and they were really nice, and I told them, you know what, I'm pregnant and I'm not feeling my baby's movement. What should I do? At that time, I was still kind of sorting out my midwife. I was sorting out who was my midwife, who was this and that. There was just a whole bunch of chaos, which that will be another video on how to really set up yourself for less stressful situations when you're going through this, especially when it comes to midwives, where to go for your appointments and everything like that. But I will do another video on that one. So yeah, so she encouraged me to attend A&E, so emergency for pregnancy, and I went there on that same day. I went there, and they reassured me that the baby was fine, the heartbeat was fine. So that was really, really nice, to just have somebody you after the lecture you can just run to and be like, oh, I'm feeling a bit like this and I'm pregnant, what should I do? So it was good. So it's another good perk of being in medical school whilst you're pregnant. Another thing, like I said, last but not least, if you are worried about anything, do not hesitate to approach your employer or the school and just ask questions, because they will treat you as they treat their employers. Basically, I'm being treated as their employers have to be treated. It's not obviously the same. I'm not getting paid. I wish I was. But it's just that they have the policy kind of applies to you. So they're not going to put you in danger. And now that I have to go for my placement, they have to have, protective measures in place. I am vulnerable, so I have to watch out on what I do, where they place me. So the hospital has to know about my condition, and all those things, they benefit you and your baby. So if you're worried, ask questions. Don't hesitate to speak with somebody. But so far, we're doing good. We thank God. There's still a long journey to go, but I'm going to keep sharing with you guys everything that I'm going through as much as I can. And maybe down the road, I'm going to do like a life in a day, or is it a day in a life? I have no idea. I'm just trying to keep up. But yeah, I will do a day in a life or a life in a day of a pregnant medical student and see how that goes. Okay. I'm still working on it. It's just still a lot going on, but hopefully I'll get that out sometime soon. But if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to message me. I'll leave my Instagram, and also just the best way to kind of like get in touch is just leave comments down below, because if you have that question, somebody else might have that question, and then I can answer it and somebody else can be able to access it as well. If you found this video helpful and you're not subscribed, please do so. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you'll get future videos, and share with whoever you think that might be going through the same or is likely to go through the same, and if you feel like this video was helpful in any way. And I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.